Behind the scenes. It's Friday, and what is up at Lange? Before we say thank you for this week and welcome the weekend, here is a word from the Publishing Manager Lilith. Happy weekend. Multi-writing. I am currently writing on 6 stories at the same time. I call it multi-writing. It is like you reading several books at the same time, multi-reading. Right now I am obsessed with the genre vignette, and all my 6 different books are written in that method. A vignette is a short piece of literature used to add depth or understanding to a story, like a snapshot with words. A good vignette is short, to the point, and packed with emotions. I love the simplicity of that method. There is only one rule when you write a vignette, and that is to create an atmosphere, not a story. Because there is limited space in a vignette, it's important to show, rather than tell the reader. I do not need to insert backstory or exposition into a vignette. My only focus instead is to create a snapshot of the life of a character, or a certain setting. I have to write with urgency and get to the point right away. It should express a certain moment, mood, aspect, setting, character, or object. Most of all, it should be short, but descriptive. And that is good training. I don't have to feel restricted to one structure or style in a vignette. A vignette is an open form. This means I do not need to write within a certain structure or a specific plot. So, I can have a clear beginning, middle, and end, or I can skip beginnings and endings altogether. A vignette also does not require a main conflict or a resolution to a conflict. This freedom gives some vignettes an unfinished or unresolved tone. But unlike other traditional storytelling forms like the novel or the short story, a vignette does not have to tie up all the loose ends. In a vignette, I am not limited by a certain genre or style, so I can combine elements of horror and romance, or use poetry and prose in the same vignette. I have the freedom to use simple and minimal language, or lush, detailed prose. All of this gives me the freedom I am looking for. And I can work on several stories at the same time and get to the point. All my work as a publishing manager and editor is filled with more strict rules. For every genre, there are rules on how to write that story in the best way. For my own writing at the moment, freedom and play is important. My writing is like breathing for me. Without writing I cannot exist. In my writing, I am always safe and I have the power. The power of the narrator. I can choose what I want to write, and when I want to. I can choose which events that will occur, and what I can throw away. That is such a nice way to live for me. I have control when the outside world is storming. Every time I start my day writing, I feel like nothing bad is going to happen. I have the power and I have the control of life. So I will make a small promise to myself to get back to my good routines to write. Write every day, because asking me to not write is like asking me to stop breathing. I would die. Literally. So I will continue my 6 different vignettes that I am working on and enjoy the journey, and not rush to the finish line. The fact is, it is the journey of writing that is the best period and not the finish, even though that period is pretty nice too. And if you are afraid that your stories will stop when you are done, don't be. The stories will live on forever and new stories will be born.